Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's been a minute since I've done a live, and I thought it was time. I had a few minutes. I was finishing up my coffee before I go to lunch with a friend here locally. It is a Wednesday kind of free day for me. And I wanted to just chat about a few things. I wanted to let you know what's going on for those of you that aren't following me on Instagram. And if you're not, I'd love you to. It's my favorite platform. Sorry, Facebook, because just because for many reasons. So if you have not listened to the show this week, it is on finding the answers inside. And we talk about meditation. I've got on Katie Krimitsos, who is the founder and owner of Women's Meditation Network. And we have a really great conversation. And it was really, and I recorded a meditation for her network called Healing Your Inner Child Meditation. And so I'd love you to check that out if you get a moment to go over and download that and check it out. So I have two things that I want to share with you. Most of you that have been with me for a while, you are listening to the podcast, you're on my email newsletter list, you do certain things with me. I don't, whether it be my 14-day manifestation challenge, which by the way, we'll be starting another one in July 1st. So I will come back maybe next week with the link for that so you can register. But we'll be doing another 14-day free manifestation challenge starting July 1st, 2024. So that's a free thing that's coming. Also, I wanted to remind anyone who's interested that every year, well, it's been 2 years now, but maybe in the future it'll be every year, I always do a live in-person event. And the reason why I do this that I think is really important is because we need people. Like, connection's important. And not only is connection important, you taking the time, me taking the time to give yourself the space to work on yourself, allow yourself, be with yourself, have a different perspective, right? That's kind of important. Most of us, in the past, I really witnessed a lot of people who love to travel, who have a job, and maybe that's some of you, like you love to travel. And if you've ever asked yourself, why do I love to travel so much? It's because you take yourself out of your story. Like when you travel and you go somewhere that's new, you have zero relationship with it most of the time if it's new, and therefore you get to be whoever you want to be. You get to experience there's no expectation, there is no limitations, there's nothing, which is really awesome. And that's why the freedom of being able to travel, people really have perspective on their lives. And while this isn't necessarily a pitch for you all to travel necessarily, but if you listen to the show or you work on yourself, or whether you listen to my show or someone else's show, or you read books, you're a huge book reader. I just want you to remember that when you read a book or listen to a podcast, it goes into your brain. And when it's in your brain, it may or may not have a physical effect. It may or may not make a huge shift for you. You may have an aha moment. But if you don't take that aha moment and then do something physically in your life, whether it be how you show up somewhere or how you sit in your body or expressing an emotion or any of the things, if you don't integrate that knowledge or that change or that aha or that healing or that learning into your physical body, then you just know a bunch of stuff, but you're not actually any different. So if you listen to a bunch of podcasts, you read a bunch of books, and you aren't really that different, my recommendation would be it's time to do something different. So this year's live event is called the Embodied Healing Intensive. And if you are on my business page, you will have seen a post about it. There's no video on that page as of right now about me talking about it. And it's mostly because we're in early bird pricing. So early bird pricing started May 1st and it ends next week, May 31st. So for those of you that have always wanted to come to a live event, now is the time to grab your ticket. We are already a third of the way full for the event. And the event's still 6 months away. So, or 5 months, 6 months away. So the Embodied Healing Intensive is going to be very different because it's going to be focused on unlocking the physical, the energy centers, the places in your body where you may hold stress, where you may hold emotion, where you have repressed certain emotions, certain parts of your body that don't necessarily work very well or are not in flow, places where you have maybe stuck energy, chi, blocks, disease, problems, pains, anything where the body isn't feeling fluid and flowing and recycling its energy, maybe pulling in a certain area. We've done a lot of conversations over the years recently, and we will continue to do rewiring your core wound patterns. We're going to continue to do evolving beyond your story. We're going to continue to do the roadmap to emotional healing. But again, some of that becomes very much about understanding and learning. And the key here is to take that understanding and learning into implementation. If you do not show up differently, if you do not change your habits, if you do not release and become different in some way, shape, or form, then your education means nothing because it didn't change you. It has to change you. So in the past, like at last year, Awaken, or earlier this year, Awaken Your Dream Life, and in 2022, Awaken Your Dream Life, and the year before, we did the Manifestation Boot Camp of 2021, and then the Manifestation Boot Camp of 2019. I'm still going to be talking about manifestation, but now we're going to take it a little bit deeper into what is the body emanating? What emotions and beliefs are locked into your subconscious that, whether you want to or not, are sending a vibrational signal that your life is responding to. If you don't know what it is, we have to get conscious of what it is, right? In order to change what is, because it's a belief. And the great news about beliefs is you get to change your beliefs. But first, we have to know what they are. So the Embodied Healing Intensive is going to be more physically based than I've ever done before. In fact, I think pretty much everything except one or two things that we're doing is going to be brand new to everybody. So Maureen, anyone who's been to a lot of my events, this will not be the same. And again, it's a place for us to come together in a safe container where you are seen and heard and held and supported. We cheer for you. We believe in you. We support you. We acknowledge you, and we hold the space for you to do whatever you need to do. And most of us don't get that in our lives. Even if you have a coach or a therapist, one person can't do for you what a room full of high vibrating people can. It's a very different experience. And anyone who's been to one of my live events, I'd love you to comment on this, because unless you're a part of a religion and a church that you really, really love and resonate with, maybe that might be another way to feel these feelings. I'm not a church, and my people are not from a church, but we all do have a desire to be our best selves. And we also have the courage to work on that. And we have the dedication and self-love to invest in that and to show up for ourselves and support others in the process. So this is my pitch to say that if you are on the fence, now is the time to get your ticket to Embodied Healing Intensive. I'll put the link here. So if anyone's here and wants to ask about that, I see a couple of people coming in and out of my live that we're doing here. I guess I don't need HTTP, right? Because you're not clicking on this link. So it's jjflizanes.com/EHI. There you go. And so there is a 3-payment plan and a 1-payment plan. And if you are one of my members, you get a 5-payment plan. But I always say on the podcast and everywhere, don't let money be the reason why you don't come, especially if you need it. We can work it out. But the longer you wait, the more it's going to cost. So if you, because I can still spread it out over time, but payment plans do cost a little bit more than a pay in full. So Embodied Healing Intensive, you'll learn more about it as we continue through the summer. And I bring some concepts that we're going to be dealing with, some really cool healing modalities, as well as exercises that are going to unlock your energy centers and reveal what has been stuck in there, and how do we release it, and how do we transform that, and how do we transform ourselves. Now, what has also come down the pipeline, because ever since I relaunched this book this year, and again, this is the not for sale copy, that's why this is here, is the idea of body shame. And I wrote this book in 2017, and I touch on body shame, but I don't really go super deep with body shame. And there is a program that I have that I created years ago with a partner called the 6-Week Beach Body Program. And it was a 6-week program to lose weight and to, get ready for the beach, if you will. And it was focused on the physical, but there were emotional components to it. And within that program, there was another little program that dealt with body shame. And I have always wanted to bring that program back. And I recently had asked on the podcast, as well as in a group, who would be interested in doing maybe a 30-day around body shame. And I had a bunch of people raise their hands. I might be changing that to a 60-day, I don't know, or a 6-week. But regardless, I'm planning on doing something in July and August around body shame. And prior to that, I'm going to be doing a webinar on healing body shame on June 18th. So I don't have the link for that yet, but mark it on your calendars if you want to come, and I will come back and share that so you can sign up and register if you want to know more about it. You want to learn how to heal body shame, whether you join the program or not. But I would love to know who's interested because it's a big topic. And it's not really about your body, actually. It's not about like weight loss or liking your body, although that can be part of it. But I want to take all my personal trainer parts of me, as well as the coaching parts of me, put them together, and along with law of attraction and with embodied healing intensive trainings, and come back into a place of honor, peace, reverence, acceptance, deep, deep, deep acceptance and love for the physical body that we live in, especially in this time space reality that we call Earth, and that we're here to experience. So we have to change this relationship if we want more things from it, right? Whether you're holding a disease or you can't lose weight, or you're just having your body's talking to you, and it's time to listen. And it's time to give it something maybe you've had a hard time giving it before, which is love and acceptance. So I want to work on that. I want to see who wants to work on that. I want to revive this program that was within this program. I'm not going to reveal the name yet, but I want to see who wants to do a beta of this program and sort of perfect it and help me figure out what like the most effective pieces are so that I can then run it again. And I want to do it in July and August because it's summer and it's a time where most of us are going to be either traveling or be in a pool or near a lake or an ocean. And it's usually warmer in some places in the country and around the world, and not all around the world, but it's a time and opportunity for you to have a different level of acceptance with your body. This isn't about losing 10 pounds so that you like your body. It's about liking your body wherever you are. And because of that, your body will shift and change for you. Not by itself. You do need to do a few things, but I want to start with that sort of relationship, that mindset, that heart set about your relationship with your body. So, all right, everybody. So if you have any questions about anything I just said, you can put it underneath this video, especially here on Facebook. I know this is also on YouTube. If you are finding me on YouTube, I have a podcast. I have many. Empowering Minds Network is my network. You can go to jjflizanes.com/podcasts, or you can go to, and I'll put it here on the banner, Empowering Minds Network.com. That'll take you to the same place to check out my shows. They are free. Got a bunch of different classes. But I'd love to just start this conversation with you because many of you who follow me and show up to things and are in my community and my membership and do classes and courses, I know you and I've been watching you, and we all have been growing and changing together. And I see the blocks and I see sort of the resistance to change and the resistance to doing the things that will work for you. And I want to gather you together. I'm bringing back this sort of idea of the personal trainer in me with the hard emotional work, because most of us don't want to push ourselves. I went to the gym this morning and I pushed myself a little bit, but that's why you hire somebody like me as a trainer or a coach, is because you'll work harder when someone is standing over you, expecting you to push yourself as far as you possibly can to get the best result, and within a safe framework, of course. So it's the same thing with our emotional work. Most of us don't want to be uncomfortable. You're not going to go willingly put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. But for your brain to rewire itself, sometimes that's what has to happen. In order for you to repattern a new belief, stepping outside of your comfort zone. And by the way, your comfort zone is only comfortable because you are used to it. Your comfort zone could actually be extremely detrimental and unhealthy for you, but you're comfortable in there, so you don't leave it. But in order for you to become healthier and change that, stepping outside of it might be a push you aren't ready to do. So you need someone to help you, hold the space for you, believe in you, support you, and guide you to the best steps. What's the most effective first step that you can take? And then it gets easier and easier the more that you do it. So I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see you at the Embodied Healing Intensive. And I look forward to sharing more about healing body shame coming in the near future. Again, June 18th at 5 p.m. Pacific time will be the webinar and masterclass. And I'll share a link here probably next week. So enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great Memorial Day, and get your tickets if you're interested in coming to the event.